Are we recording? Is this thing on?
Yes, it is. Welcome to RevOps 500, where we invite the world's top marketers to answer the tough questions facing growing organizations.
Ooh, sounds important.
I'm Sajil Qureshi.
And I'm Gill Bates. Join us as we dive deep into the world of RevOps.
We'll be learning strategies and expertise from firsthand experience. RevOps 500 is sponsored by Computan. They provide technical and development expertise to growth-focused marketing teams.
Let's get started.
Hello, my name is Gill Bates, and I'm here sitting in for Sajil Qureshi, and we're hosting another episode of RevOps 500. And I can't tell you how excited I am to be talking to the greatest sales doctor, sales legend in the history of sales. His name is Dr. Rick Roberge. Rick, thanks for talking to me today.
Gil, you can't imagine how I feel right now.
I can't imagine much.
Nobody's ever given me that kind of an introduction before.
Is that because you know nobody?
Well, I know a few people, but I don't know anybody that speaks so from so far down in your body, you know?
Some people speak from the heart. I speak
That's
from
right.
the foot.
There you go.
Okay,
That's go.
Rick, can you tell us one RevOps myth?
One RevOps what is that?
Myth, RevOps myth. Can you tell us a RevOps myth?
Oh, myth. Myth like MYTH.
MITH or MYTH. Both will work.
Okay. A RevOps myth that more will get you more. How's that?
What do you mean by more will get you more?
How many people? What's your do you have an email address?
Yes.
Okay. So, how many spam messages do you get in your inbox every day?
311 per day.
Per day. And is that going up or going down?
It was 284 the day before yesterday.
Okay. So did you buy more today than you did yesterday?
Oh, Dr. Roberge, I don't get paid that much money to do this.
Well, hopefully after today, you'll be worth more.
Okay, and
because it's quality, not quantity. Hold it. Let me finish that thought though. The 311 versus 284. They sent you more spam hoping for more sales, but it didn't work. They didn't get more sales. They
so
got more annoyed people. More doesn't always give you the right kind of more that you're looking for.
So what is your suggestion then? To do less or nothing?
I think that what you and I are doing is great. 1-to-1. Have a conversation with somebody. Find out what they need. Find out what's bugging them.
So what's bugging you, Dr. Roberge?
I want to know if you're married or not. Do you have another sock that you hang out with?
I had a twin, but I lost them.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So there's one barefoot out there.
You could say something like that.
Okay, I could say something like that. But you asked me a question and you know what I did? I answered it the way politicians answer questions. They don't.
So
They just pretend that they answer the question that they hoped you would ask.
you answered
So what
the
was the
question
question
with a
again?
question.
Did I do that?
You just did it again, didn't you?
Oh, you are, you know what, Gil? I'm going to buy you one of those graduation hats, you know, the flat on top. You are clearly smarter than most people that have interviewed me.
That's pretty flattering, Dr. Roberge, but I really want to know if you have some sort of solution for these 312 spam messages I get besides one-on-one conversations.
Well, a solution for you or a solution for them?
A solution for me and for them. How about that?
Okay, so one of the settings that you could put on your email is, do you want to put spam to your junk folder, your spam folder, or do you want to delete it? Just say delete it. You'll never see it.
Okay, that's an easy one. I could do that.
Wouldn't it be better? Have you ever found any message in your spam folder that shouldn't have gone there? It was actually a message that you wanted.
Yes, I did. From my girlfriend, now
Oh.
ex-girlfriend.
Oh, is she the one you lost? The pair?
Yes. We were a pair. We were like identical twins, but I lost her.
Identical. Oh, well. What can you do? That kind of stuff happens. We move on. Is she the only one that was ever in your spam folder?
No, other legitimate messages have been in my spam folder too.
Okay. So wouldn't it be great if the only messages that you ever saw were legitimate messages?
Of course it would be.
What makes them legitimate? They talk about something that's of value to you. And often they come from somebody that knows you. Fair?
Very fair, yes.
Okay. So one of the settings that you could put on your spam folder is that if they're not in your contact box, your contact folder, if they're not a contact, they go to spam, period. And that's kind of a good way to sort your spam folder, because then you can use my method. If I want to meet somebody that I don't know, I get somebody to introduce me that does know them.
How do you do that?
I asked my girlfriend to introduce me to her cute friend. You should have tried that before she left.
Oh, I don't have your sales skills or wizardry to do things like that, Dr. Roberge.
But these are life skills. So many people, you just distracted me and you gave me another thought. So many people think that to be a better salesperson, you have to learn all kinds of sales tricks and that kind of thing. Well, these aren't sales lessons that we talk about. If you ask most of my clients, they'll tell you that the things that we learn and we think are sales lessons are actually very helpful in life. How to get your children to do stuff, how to keep your girlfriend happy. Customer service is very important on to apply to your girlfriend.
Does that just mean you say yes all the time?
No. Sometimes it's got to be sometimes you have to say no, but it's the way you say no. And when you say no, often it's because it's better for the person that you're saying no to. Think about this. Do you have any children?
That's a very personal question. I think you know the answer, Dr. Roberge.
Okay. For somebody who does have children, one of the things that they would like their children not to do, and this is whether or not they're wearing socks, is run out in the street without looking.
Because they could get hurt.
Exactly. So when we see them running toward the street, we say, no. But it's not a bad no. It's a no that's for their own good. We want to keep them alive. So that's the kind of no that I'm talking about. And sometimes when we see, for instance, are socks left-footed and right-footed?
No, they are the same. You can wear them on either foot. And that's the beauty of socks.
That is one of the beauties of socks.
Very good point.
Yeah. Warm socks, clingy socks, socks that keep you from getting blisters. Hey, how did you get this to be about you? I thought it was about me.
It is about you. Sorry. I'm just really nervous.
No. But that's one of the things that these spammers that are, if you think about, well, I don't know, but I never met your girlfriend and I never had the opportunity to talk to her. But when you first met her, you probably didn't talk about yourself a lot. You probably talked about what she liked to talk about. And she said, "Oh, this man is very interesting because He's interested in what I'm talking about. Those are the kind of conversations that we need to teach spammers and cold callers how to have. And talk to people about the stuff that they want to talk about, not about what you're selling.
But
We
Dr.
go too
Roberge,
fast.
I have a question.
You want to ask it?
Can I?
Is it embarrassing?
It is for me. I know that I have such a hard time getting people to answer my messages. I just think they delete, 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 delete. At work, at home,
Oh,
my girlfriend, my potential customers, they just delete it. How do I get
okay.
them to not delete it?
Well, so I have a friend. His name is Chris Rokas. He and I are actually involved in a joint venture together. But if you wanted to meet Chris Rokas, and you know me, you could say, Rick, I was looking at what Chris is doing, and I think that he and I should know each other. And because I like you and I like Chris, I take your message and I say, Chris, had a conversation with Gil today. Great guy. It was very enjoyable, very enjoyable. And he, as I was speaking with him, I got the feeling that you two should know each other. So how about if I introduce you? Gil, meet Chris, Chris, meet Gil. Can I let you guys handle it from here? Now he will talk to you. Why will he talk to you? Because I put your message in front of him. He knows me. He trusts me. He'll talk to you.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. To ask somebody else for an introduction to somebody else.
One of the ways that I ask for the question, I ask for the introduction is I'll do the same thing. Chris, I see that you know Gill Bates. I was looking at I was looking at his biography. Do you think he and I would get along? I'd love to have a conversation with him. Chris says, "Well, I know you. You're a good guy. I know Chris. I know Gil. He's a good guy. I'll introduce you," and he does. And he says essentially the same thing that I said when I was introducing you to him.
So
So you can actually ask for an introduction that way if they appear to be interested. The key question is, do you think we'll get along? Do you think he and I would get along? Because quite honestly, I know that to you kind of like me because we have mutual friends, but not everybody likes me.
Why wouldn't they like you? I don't understand.
'Cause
You're a sales legend.
I say no.
But you just say no to get
I
people to not go crossing the street or playing
Yeah.
with rocks in traffic.
Yeah, but they don't know that I'm telling them no for their own good. They think that I'm telling them no to control them or to make them do something that they don't want to do. And even a child running out into the street, they're, well, I want to go over there. There's a dog over there. They want to go see the dog. They don't realize that they have to dodge in front of 27 cars.
And 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 then people don't like this no. And in sales you use the word no a lot, you're saying?
Well, do you know anybody that owns a business?
Yes.
Okay. And that person, how many customers do you think they have? Hundreds, thousands, millions? How many?
Well, I know Walmart has millions of customers and McDonald's has served billions and billions.
Yes, but they've served them over and over and over again,
Oh, that's a
right?
very good point. Yeah, yeah.
How many unique customers do they have? And here's why I'm making the difference. Even I know a company that has a million customers, but there are 7 billion people in the world, right? Or is it 8 billion? What's a billion between friends, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's a
Okay,
billion?
but here's the point. A million out of a billion, that's a lot of no's. So the quicker you can get through the no's, the sooner you'll find the yeses. And if you're only looking for a million yeses out of a billion no's, I'm out of 7 billion or 8 billion no's, let's get through them. Let's get it.
I never thought of it that way.
There's a lot. I actually put a post on LinkedIn today. No, it was a comment to somebody that I work with people typically for a few months. And over the course of a few months, we're going to have 100 conversations, say. But sometimes in one conversation, if I talk with we've been talking for 20 minutes, and twice you've said, I've never thought of it that way, which means that you learned something, right? If you learn one thing in a conversation, that thing's fixed. And now you can go. But if you have two conversations, you'll fix two things. And if you have 100 conversations, you fix 100 things. And before you know it, you're better than you were before. And you have a lot more experience. So that's the magic. Teach somebody something different. Teach somebody. You should learn from every conversation that you have. Talk to a prospect, you learn about what's going on with them. Sometimes you work with them, sometimes you don't. But you talk with them and you learn, and they learn, and so on and so on and so on.
So the more conversations you have, the more you learn.
As long as you have ears, I can't see them.
I can't see them either.
That's right. I can't see mine either. I wonder how I'm hearing you.
I don't know. It could be the magic of the podcast.
Okay. So here's why I asked you if you had ears. Because we want to make sure that we're using both ears and one mouth. We have two ears, one mouth. We should use our ears twice as much.
Oh, that's
Don't say it.
how do you know what I'm going to say?
I thought you were going to say, I never thought of it that way before.
I was going to say that.
Oh, no.
You stole my line.
I didn't steal it. It's not your line. I'm sure somebody said it before. Whose line is that? That would be a great name for a show.
I think so too.
Television.
Almost as good as RevOps 500.
Can I have a drink of coffee?
Absolutely. I can't because I'm driving home after I leave the studio.
Oh, okay. So you're a right-footed. You're a right-foot sock.
I'm a right footer. I'm a righty. So
I'm barefoot right now.
Dr. Roberge, what is the one thing all of your sales students have in common, and what's the one thing that you want our listeners to know about sales?
That we need a different word. I'll answer the second question first. We need a different word for it. Because sales is not what most people learn how to sell by watching television shows like Boiler Room. What was that? The one with Glengarry Glen Ross. They learn from buying used cars, and that's they learn the wrong things. And when you say sales, many people start thinking of the worst experiences they've ever had. Most people don't think of me as a salesman. Most people that buy, I'm talking about before I was a coach or a consultant. I sold stuff. And most of the people that I sold to didn't think of me as selling them. They thought of me as fixing their problem. So the number one rule that I try to teach people is to stop talking about your stuff, stop trying to get everybody to buy it. Look for a problem that you can solve. That's it. Look for somebody that is missing their twin. And if you can solve that problem, they would be happy for you forever, and you wouldn't be their they wouldn't think of you as a salesperson. They'd think of you as the guy that found their twin.
So when people ask, Dr. Roberge, what do? You say, I help people find their twin? Is that what you mean?
No. When they ask me what I do?
Yes. If they ask you, what do you do, Dr. Roberge?
So you and I have been talking for a little bit, right? What do you think a sales call with me sounds like? What percentage of time am I talking, and what percentage of time are you talking if you're the prospect?
Well, I think I would be doing a lot of the talking, right?
Yes. And what would you be talking about?
Well, probably talking about myself too much, right?
Not at all. There's no such thing as a prospect talking about themselves too much, because they're probably talking about a problem that they have, if I'm doing my job right.
So you want the prospect to talk about themselves.
Exactly. And I don't want to talk about me. I want to encourage them to talk about them. So I want to answer your question now, because we went full circle. You asked, so what do I do? And when somebody asks me that, I say something like, I've been known to bore people silly within 10 seconds. How am I doing?
And what do they say? So
They laugh typically, and they say, you're not so boring. And I said, well, anyway, rather than continue to bore you, how about if I ask you what you do? And now they're going to tell me what they do, because they can't help themselves.
So you don't tell them that you work at the library,
I do not. That would be a lie.
and you don't tell them anything about your sales training?
No, not time. I don't want to bore them.
What if they keep asking? Well, tell us what you do, Dr. Roberge.
Well, but are you asking me in real life for an interview, or are you asking me as a person that I just met on the street?
Person I just met on the street.
Oh, I would think you're a mugger.
Me? A mugger? I can't even hold a mug.
A mugger? What? Well, yeah, I think you could, but no, it was a joke. I'm sorry. You were supposed to just laugh and say, "Oh, that was very funny. I never thought of that before."
That's very funny. I didn't think of that before.
Okay. So, but the point is, if you're in sales, or whatever you're calling sales, you have to consider yourself to be in the position. You're looking for people that have a problem that you could solve. That's the very first thing. So I typically ask questions like, how's business going? How's sales going? How what do you do? And one of the things that there are a lot of ways to start conversations. So there's a whole bunch of things that I've done. One of the things that I say is, when they tell me that they're let's see, air conditioning repairman. Okay. Oh boy, you guys are probably very busy. When you come to work in the morning, my guess is that you have a line of people in front of your desk, going out the door, going around the block, all waiting to give you money so that you can go fix their air conditioners. And they say sometimes it's like that. But mostly they say, "I wish." And I say, "Oh, people aren't in line in front of you?" "No, I have to go out and find my customers." "Oh, how do you do that?" And they tell me what they're doing. "And you're finding enough that way?" And they say, "Not really. I could always find more customers." "Oh, and now they have a problem that I can solve." So, but I'm not going to try to solve it yet. I'm going to learn more about the problem. What kind of things have you tried? How many more customers do you need? Do you need better customers or more of what you're getting?
That's a very interesting way of doing it.
Well, sometimes when people new salespeople especially, they hear what they think is a buying signal. "Oh yes, I need to double sales by the end of the year." "Oh, I know how to do that," and they start. But you really need to dig down a little bit and find out why double, why not triple, or why not only increase by 50%? Why double? Second thing is, what kind of customers? Do you more of the same, or do you need to have bigger customers or smaller customers or just more of? Are you changing product lines? You need to ask questions about the kind of things that are going on in their life so that we can understand the kind of struggles that they have. And then when I ask a question, have you ever thought about trying this? Sometimes they say what do they say? Sometimes they say,
I hadn't thought of that.
"That's right." That's what they say sometimes. But then the other times they'll say, "I don't think I could do that." "Oh, how come?" And now I may have accidentally, but on purpose, stumbled upon something that's in their way, an obstacle to their success. It could be that they have a self-limiting belief that's telling them they can't do the thing that needs to be done. Could have you ever knocked on a door
With my nose, yes.
with your nose?
Yes. With my nose. I don't have
Yeah,
hands. So I use my nose.
yeah, I get it. I get it. And so you don't have a self-limiting belief that says, "I can't knock on doors." Some people believe that they can't do that in today's world. They believe that it's dangerous. They believe that the people on the other side of the door might be scared. They believe that it's inappropriate. They don't want to cold call the way door-to-door salesmen used to do it. Have you ever have you ever dialed a phone and called somebody that you didn't know?
You mean like a cold call?
Yeah, there you go. See, that's the but
I never, never done
I'm
that.
not asking you to do it. Calm down, relax. But you're not alone when you say that because many people, number one, don't want to do it because the answer is typically no. They don't want to. People don't want to talk to them. But also with caller ID and the fact that you can't get cell phone numbers to find people, it's a waste of time. So making cold calls, you have to find other ways to attract customers and to engage with customers. And unfortunately, that's something that we spend a fair amount of time, not unfortunately, but that's something that we have to spend a fair amount of time doing. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of ideas on how to get more customers, how to attract more. And some of them are spammers.
How about we play a game?
Okay, go ahead. You want to play a game?
Yeah. Let's play a game. I know you like to role play.
Odds or evens? Okay,
Not
role
like
play.
that. Not like that. I have a different game.
Okay.
Okay. I know I've heard from some of your former students that you like to do role playing and drama work in your calls. Like you pretend to be a customer or them and pretend and stuff like that. Is that true?
Okay. We can do that.
Let's pretend you and I are starting a business and we need a customer in 2 hours. How would you get it?
How would I get a customer in 2 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the problem that we solve?
We're a sock factory,
Okay. And
and our mission is to put socks on all feet throughout the world.
yes, but who's going to get them first?
Who do you think? That's a good question. Who should we get the socks to first?
Okay. We don't know.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Well, but if we want to put a sock on every foot, how's that?
Yeah, every foot.
Every foot. Don't we have we need to find what I need. I'm probably, if you and I are partners and I'm going to find you somebody who wants a sock. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay. So I would probably call you up. I'm sorry, let me do this away. You want to know how I would find you a customer.
That's right.
Okay. So you just be a friend of mine. Okay. So I'm going to call you up and say, Gil,
Hi, Dr. Roberge.
got a new job. I got a new job today.
What's the new job?
It's a joint venture. I'm helping a guy put a sock on every foot.
Wow. How are you going to do that? How can I help?
Oh, okay. So what I'm wondering is, do you know anybody that has a penchant for socks, fancy socks? Like maybe in their biography on their website, they say, wearer of fine socks or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I know somebody. I know some people like that.
I wonder if he would like to be one of the first to have these new socks.
That could be a good idea.
And maybe if he's got a family, maybe the whole family would like to do that.
Maybe they wouldn't be sandal wearers anymore.
Oh, there you go. What? You know what? That was a nice smile. But it's true. But but a lot of people, including myself, wear socks with sandals
That's the way it should be.
or barefoot in a sandal. It doesn't matter. I'm not. You can shake your head all you want. Doesn't make it true.
It does make it through. Sandals without feet is wrong. That's devil's foot.
Wait a minute. Sandals without feet? I didn't say that.
That's what I heard.
Oh, sorry.
And I get
Okay.
worked up over people wearing sandals without socks. So you have to excuse my loss of
Oh,
me going off tether a little bit.
all right. Okay. So, back to what I want to do is talk to that person who happens to really like socks, and I'm going to say, Gil put us together and said that you are a fashionista in the sock world, and that I should come and show you some of our socks and get ideas from you about how they should be marketed, who might like them, that kind of stuff.
It sounds like you would try and talk to your friends first and then work back.
I'm sorry.
It sounds like you would want to talk to your friends first.
Yeah, you talk to your friends and you find out who they know. If they wanted to show these new socks to somebody, who would they show them to?
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that.
It's fair.
And is this the first time you're ever talking to a sock puppet in your legendary sock career?
Truth?
Truth.
You want the truth or you want me to make something up?
Of course I want the truth, Dr. Roberge.
Okay. I know that when I was a kid, I used to put a sock on my hand and talk to my hand.
You did that?
Yep, I did.
What was your sock's name?
My sock didn't have teeth, so I had to draw them on with a magic marker. and my mother was quite upset when she saw that my socks had eyes and a nose and teeth.
So your mother would be upset that we're friends? Is that what you're saying?
Not at all, because you're not my sock.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that either. I was saying that a lot today.
I think that it's important. One of the reasons that I decided that we wanted to accept your invitation, you, Gill Bates, sock bucket extraordinaire, world famous. One of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you is to show people that that you can have a conversation with virtually anybody, whether or not you have anything in common.
That's a good point. You can make common ground
It-
very quickly.
There are people, I'm sure that you know people that know people from other countries.
That's a possibility.
And those people from other countries know people from other countries. And there's Kevin Bacon. What did he say? Something degrees of separation. 3 degrees of
6
separation.
degrees of separation.
6 degrees. I'm always in a hurry. No, I'm not. But you're right. 6 degrees, that is the title. And it just means that by the time you meet somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you're probably going to have another connection to that person. How many times? You have a LinkedIn profile, I think, right?
I do, of course.
Okay. And you have some connections, and we probably have mutual connections. We know people that know you, each other. And so if you're open to just saying hello and starting a conversation, you probably will find something to talk about that you're actually interested in. And that your prospect is definitely interested in.
And where did you get all this information from? How did you know so much about sales anyways?
How many people have you talked to in your life?
Oh, I can't remember. 7, 80, 81. I don't know. I don't get out much, Dr.
Okay,
Roberge.
that's okay. I have a friend. His name is Steve Grosha. He used to be a banker. And when he got married, his father-in-law told him, Steve, if you meet somebody new every day, you're going to be successful. Meeting somebody new every day is the key. It expands your horizons. It teaches you how to be open to learning other things, some of it which may be useful, some of it not. And today, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I put a number there, and I think I wrote, I don't remember the exact number, but it was day 26,484, something like that. Okay. And what I did to get that number was I did a calculation, today's date minus my birthday. So I've been on Earth 26,000 plus days. And if I had met 26,000 people, well, I may have met 26,000 people, because as you get older and as you get out and about, you meet more people in a hurry. So the more people you know, the more you can learn. And I've been doing this for 26,000 days.
And what would you tell yourself?
You're much younger than that, I could tell. I'm sorry?
And I am much younger than that, but I won't get into those specifics. But anyways,
Okay.
what is something you would tell the younger version of Dr. Roberge?
The best is yet to come. Well, I think there are lessons that you learn later. Like, I used to think that going to work was going to work, and everybody hates their job. But if you find something that you really like doing, it's not work anymore. It's fun. You go have fun. You go to do what you do, what you enjoy doing. You like hanging out.
Interesting. I and 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 is there some sort of time when Dr. Roberge did not like selling?
No. Last night we went out to eat. There were 2 teenagers, my son, and my wife and I. And the waitress came over, and I treated her just like a prospect. I know that her name was Brittany, and I know, and we were talking about another restaurant other than the one that she was at, and she made a great martini for me, and we had a couple of fun exchanges. And every time I have a fun exchange, my wife rolls her eyes because she knows I'm just working. It's what I do. When I don't have a hat that I put on when I'm going to go sell. I don't have a different. Please don't be upset when I say this, okay? But I have an article that I wrote on LinkedIn. It's called. Is it on LinkedIn? Might be on my blog. The title of it is. This is the part that might be offensive to you. Barefooting or bootstrapping. Did I say it the wrong way?
Barefooting.
Was it offensive? Yeah, I hear you.
Never.
I hear you. Well, but the point is, people that are do you know what bootstrapping is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Bootstrapping is starting your business and using the money that you earn to keep the business going. Okay. And many people, I've worked with a lot of bootstrappers, people that have to sell to eat. Okay. But when I'm working, the point that I wanted to make is that when somebody walks into the room, and this is what the article's about, when one of my grandchildren walks in, I turn the camera around and I say, Gil, meet Bo. Bo, meet Gil. And I introduce you to my grandson. Okay? And the reason is because I might be barefoot. In other words, the Rick that's barefoot is the same Rick that's with his grandson, that's with Gil, that's with the bootstrappers of the world. It's the same person, and he's just doing what he does. There is no line of demarcation between work and non-work.
But people say that's not healthy. Work-life balance.
Well, it depends on how you look at work. Remember, my grandson walks in, and I introduce you. I'm not ignoring him. We're very balanced. He's welcome into my work world. I'll make you laugh. You ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay, go ahead.
You got me.
No.
You're a
But I'm going to
funny
make you
guy.
laugh for real
You're a
now.
funny guy,
So-
Dr. Roberge.
So years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I used to be. I had events that I went to every night, networking type events, chamber of commerce meetings, mixers, that kind of stuff. And I always told my wife she could come with me whenever she wanted. Well, she didn't usually want to because she doesn't do what I do. But occasionally she would come because we were going to a nice place. So she'd come, she'd get some finger food, she'd have a glass of wine or a martini, and we would walk around and meet people. And I would introduce her to people as I was working. So here I am with my two worlds colliding, my wife and my work. So I introduce my wife to a client, and my client's name is Tom. And I say, Tom, hey, meet Elaine. Elaine, meet Tom. And Tom, my client, who knows me well, doesn't say, nice to meet you. Doesn't say, hi, how are you? Nothing like that. He says, Rick's right. And Elaine looks at him funny and says, what? And he said, Rick's right. And she asked, what do you mean Rick's right? And he said, you do deserve better. This is you.
What? That's very true.
She does deserve better.
Probably.
But the point is that he could, although he was teasing me, right? He was also telling her that I was the same person with him that I am with her. And I told him she deserves a lot better because I believe it. And I
That's a
think
funny
in her
story.
next life, she wants to come back as a sock.
And I think that's a very good second life choice. I do.
So what's going to happen with this recording, do you think?
Oh, I don't make those kind of decisions, Dr. Roberge. I'm just
Oh.
a prop and a cog in a wheel over here. I don't make those kind of decisions.
Do you think that, I've been here for 22,000 plus days. Do you think that matters in the millions of years that this earth has been here? Not at all. We're all just a moment in time.
That's a very philosophical way to end our conversation, Dr. Roberge.
Okay, so I don't have to say goodbye now?
No, but I don't mean it like that. Oh, I'm gonna get in big trouble for that. No. What I really mean is how super amazing it has been to learn from you, the sales master. Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
I told my friend that I'm talking to someone who's the Colonel Sanders of sales today, and they thought I was just crazy. And I told them, no, he is. He's a legend. He has a mustache and he has glasses, and he should be on posters and serving chicken to people all over the world.
Well, you know what? I do like his chicken.
So do I when I get the chance to eat it. But
I hear you.
this was really, really amazing to talk to you. Where can our listeners learn more about Dr. Roberge?
From listening to this podcast and following you? Is that what I'm supposed to say?
No. You can tell us about anything and anything you want. It's really up to
Actually,
you.
I would like to, if I can, I'll have a minute and I'll tell you what is probably going to be my final act. Do you know how many floors the tallest building in the world has?
Well, I don't know. How would I know that?
Okay. Well, I could tell you that it's in Dubai, and you could check it out. It has 163 floors. Okay.
Okay.
Now imagine this. You're in business, or you are a salesperson, and you want to be somewhere. You want to be awesome. You want to change the world. The example that we use is that if you've been in that elevator in that 163-story building and you've taken the time to hit all of the buttons and stop at all of the floors, 163 floors, when you're done with that, you can say, now what? And there's really no place else to do. So what we're doing right now, Chris Rokas and I, a joint venture, it's titled The 164th Floor. And what we want to do is help business owners or salespeople do something that they've never done before. For instance, if you've never doubled your sales in a year, let's double your sales. If you've never 10x'd your sales in 2 years, let's 10x your sales. If you've never earned $1 million in a year, let's earn $1 million in a year, and let's figure out, we will work with you to help you figure out how to get that done. All you have to do is tell us what you haven't done that you would like to do, and we'll figure it out together.
Wow. And where can people learn more about this?
They can go to my profile on LinkedIn, which is Rick Roberge, or they can go to Chris Rokas, or they can look for 164thfloor.com. There's a newsletter that they publish. Subscribe to the newsletter, tell you all about it. Or just reach out to me at therainmakermaker@gmail.com. Or if they contact you, would you tell them how to get a hold of me?
Of course. That's what you talked about today.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's it. So how long that's going to go on? Chris and I are talking about doing this until the end of the year, and we'll see what happens.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
164th floor. How about this for a motto? 164th floor or bust?
What? That sounds scary.
Oh, you'd rather have a bust?
No, that's a good point too, Dr. Roberge. I hadn't thought of that one either. This has been a really fun conversation, Dr. Roberge. Thank you so much for coming on.
I hope somebody gets something out of it. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. And please keep listening to RevOps 500 for more great episodes. And thanks again, Dr. Roberge, for coming. And have a great day, everyone.
All right, bye-bye.
And that wraps up another episode of RevOps 500. Thanks for joining. For show notes and other episodes, visit us at RevOps500.com. RevOps 500 is sponsored by CompuCare, providing technical and development expertise to growth-focused marketing teams.